All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. All right, let me just make sure we're showing up in the group here and everybody can hear and see me. All right, awesome. Welcome, guys, to our Wednesday live show. I'm Ann. We have a lot of new people here. My name is Ann Keeney. I'm your host here in the Profitable Entrepreneur community. Super excited to have you guys today, this week, every single week. Every Wednesday, we drop a live show. And this week, today, we're talking about content strategy. So you guys have voted on that. Really excited to be going live and sharing some tips with you guys for content strategy. Let me say hi here to everybody. And then say hi, guys, below. Let me know you're here. Let me just put a community. And also, if you're catching the replay, say hello, and I will come back and say hi to everybody. Awesome. Here we are. Okay. Perfect. Everyone can see and hear. Say hi, guys. Let me know you're here. Do the hashtag replay. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We have a lot of new faces. Want to make sure we welcome everyone into the community. Say hi, even if you are a replayer, we'll pop back in and say hello to you guys. We're going to go ahead today. We're talking about content strategy. So this is something that you guys voted on. We're really excited to get in here and share this information with you guys. So the first thing I want to say when it comes to content, guys, I want you to think about your content as your billboard. Okay, so, some businesses, you look around, they might give out business cards, they might go door to door, they might pick up the phone and call people, right? They might have local network meetings, things like that. We're in the online space. So your content is the first point of contact for your audience, right? Your content is the first thing that people see. So this is your billboard, right? It's the billboard for your business. It's how people can connect with you online and say, I see what you do, I see who you are and how you can help me. Your content's going to do that, right? So rather it's emails, rather it's social posts that you're putting out, Facebook Lives or, Instagram Lives or stories, challenges, workshops, any of the freebies that you're sharing with people, as well as your paid programs and offers. Do any of those content pieces that you put out is that billboard. It is letting people know, here's who you are, here's what you do, here's how you can help them. And it's typically the first point of contact for your audience, right? So your content says everything about you, so it should be a top priority for you, right? As people see the content that you put out, your content starts to attract people into your community. It starts to bring you an audience, right? If your content isn't on brand, then you're probably going to attract people that are not premium clients, attract people into your community, your group, that are not the right people, right? So we want to make sure that you're really taking your content seriously, that you're understanding that this is the first point of contact for a lot of your people, and that you want your content to build brand awareness, right? So I'm going to get into a few things with you guys. What I want to do is cover 3 specific things with you today. Hi. Happy Wednesday. Say hello, guys. Okay, so I want to cover 3 things with you guys today. I want to talk about content intention. I want to talk about content creation and your schedule. And I want to talk about captivating copy elements that you should be incorporated into your content. Again, to really attract premium clients that actually want what it is you are sharing and teaching and talking about, so that you are creating an audience of fans and buyers, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is your intention, the intention behind your content. Something I say to my clients all the time is don't ever create content just for the sake of creating content, right? Because it's not going to do anything for you. If you just create a post or you create a meme or a tip or something like that, just for the sake of doing it so you can say that you did it, there's no strategy behind it. There's no intention behind it. It's probably not going to do anything for you, right? And so if you guys notice, for those of you that are posting online, when you post something that is vulnerable, it was truly something that it was a download for you, it was very inspired, it was just a message you absolutely had to share, versus something that you forced out or you put out because you knew you had to, or you thought people wanted it and you kind of had to sit and think about it and mull over it for a while, you'll notice that the one that you just kind of like, it flowed naturally and it just came to you and it was just something that you got out there and it was like, oh my God, that was such an inspired message. you notice at that point, right, you get more engagement on that type of copy. Hi, Terry, right? The copy that you put out that's more intentional, more inspired, it was just like a natural download, it was a message you felt you had to share, is always going to get more engagement than those posts that you spend so much time overthinking and analyzing and forcing to get out there, right? So I want you guys, the first thing I want to talk about is your content intention, because I don't want you guys creating content just for the sake of creating content, right? So the things that you want to ask yourself is, what is your intention with your content? With each piece of content that you're putting out, like, what is the intention with it, right? Posting a lot of random content that doesn't have a strategy behind it is just going to put you into this mode of constant content creation. And usually that type of content does not get engagement, right? So you'll notice that you're constantly creating content and pushing out content, but you're hearing crickets, you're not getting anything, right? I see this a lot. Some entrepreneurs will say, Ann, I put like 6 posts out per day and 0, nothing happens on any of them. And I'm like, well, what if you put out 2 pieces of content a day that were more inspired, more intentional, had a strategy behind it that actually was a soul message, and you put that out, right? So instead of 6 pieces of content, maybe you put out 2, but instead of 6 random pieces that you had to force out, you put out 2 really good, inspired, intentional ones. You'll see a difference with that. So it's not about creating more, it's about creating content that means something to you, okay? So let me share, here's the intention that I have and that we have behind every piece of content that we put out in my business, okay? Number 1, it builds authority. So when we put content out, we want people to know we are the experts in our niche, right? I don't want anyone to connect with me and be in my space and not know what the hell I do, right? That tells me I'm not doing a very good job at my content strategy or my marketing if people that are coming into my Facebook group and adding me as a friend don't know what the hell I do, right? If it isn't clear by the content I'm putting out what I do and who I am, that's a problem, right? So I teach, I post, I talk about, and I share my methodology. The things that I believe in, the things that I take a stand for. I'm very consistent, right? And I do as I teach. So everything that I do, everything I put out, everything I share with you guys here, everything I teach my clients in my program, it's literally all the things that we're doing as well in the business, right? So I practice what I preach. I stay very consistent with my message and strategy, my marketing and showing up, right? And I focus on sharing my methodology, my system, my strategy for how I get results in my business, for how I believe, you guys can get results in your business, how I teach my clients. And that's what I'm really teaching. I practice what I teach and I stand behind my word. Okay. So my audience knows what to expect from me and they can see that I have my shit together, right? They can see, oh, Ann talks about launching and yet she launches. Ann talks about high-end offers and she sells high-end offers. Ann talks about going live every week. Ann goes live every week, right? Ann talks about putting 3 pieces of content out per day. I see Ann put 3 pieces of content out per day. Ann talks about you should be consistent, right? I see that Ann is consistent. So again, you're building that authority and you're showing people that you are an expert. And I will say that if you are not consistent in your message, in your topics, your niche, your marketing and showing up, if you're not consistent, people cannot trust you. Your audience will not see you as authority, as an expert if you're inconsistent. Okay. If you're switching it up all the time and you're being all over the place and inconsistent, it doesn't look like you have your shit together. No one wants to invest in a coach or a mentor who's all over the place, flopping out of water like a fish and has no consistency, right? So building authority is going to build trust with your audience. It's non-negotiable. Okay. The second thing we make sure with the intention of our copy and our messaging and our content, it builds brand awareness. So we have a theme. Okay. If you guys are new here, you might just be catching on. If you've been here a while, you totally get this. Our theme in my company is the profitable entrepreneur. Every single thing that I put out is focused around the whole theme of the profitable entrepreneur. Okay, so we have the Profitable Entrepreneur Community, which is this free group. My paid program for my paying clients is the Profitable Entrepreneur. My program, my signature company brand program, is the Profitable Entrepreneur. My workshop, my on-demand most popular 5-day workshop, is the Profit Launch, right? Everything has that theme of the Profitable Entrepreneur. So it all comes down to profit. So the whole thing, my intention behind my brand name, the Profitable Entrepreneur, my intention behind every piece of content I put out is building the brand awareness around profitable entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs build profitable businesses, not just build a business. We want you to build a profitable business, right? Big difference. Right? So everyone knows us for this. Everyone knows us for the Profit Launch. Everyone knows us for the Profitable Entrepreneur. Everybody knows us for that whole theme, right? Because we've intentionally built everything kind of around that. So we have our color scheme. We have the fonts we like to use. We have a consistent message. And I have a consistent methodology, a set of systems I teach and talk about that support that brand. Right? So I can't just say, oh, I want entrepreneurs to be profitable. I have to show you that I have systems and strategies to help you build a profitable business. And so that's the content I teach. That's the topics I focus on, are the things that I teach in my paid programs. It's the things that I teach here with you guys in this community. It's the things I'm doing. It's the things I'm talking about. I'm always leading by example with that, right? So we're honing in on that profitable entrepreneur intention. And every piece of content I put out, every strategy that I use, everything I teach you guys is focused around the idea of what it is to be a profitable entrepreneur, what that looks like and what that means, right? So everything is supporting that brand. So we believe that the best business is a profitable one. That is something that I say all the time. You guys should hashtag it below. The best business is a profitable one, because what else would you have, right? So I focus very heavily on that profitable side of things, okay? And so I stand behind that. It has a meaning, right? The Profitable Entrepreneur has a meaning behind it. It's not just a name I came up with for whatever reason. It has a meaning behind it, right? Part of that is from my own struggle and my own journey in my business of trying to create consistent, steady cash flow in my business, and then getting it to a point where there was actually money left over after, right? So that's part of what we mean by the profitable entrepreneur. Any business can make money, but is it profitable? So we have a meaning behind our brand name. Okay. And that's what gives us passion. That's why I can show up here and stand behind my program, stand behind my offers, stand behind my methodology, my strategy, and what I teach and what I do with my clients and the things that I'm doing, leading by example. I can stand behind that and confidently, consistently show up and teach about this because it has a meaning to me, right? Like it means something to me. Versus just putting out random things and coming up with random names that don't have any meaning behind them. Okay, so your intention, guys, is everything with your content. And it should really represent and support your brand. Okay, that thing you want to be known for. The third thing with your content, guys, with setting intention is that clear sign over the door. This is something I talk and teach with my profitable entrepreneur paying clients, is having a clear sign over the door. Right? We are really, if you guys don't notice, we're very specific. We are straight to the point. I'm a matter of fact type of person, right? I'm not really someone to try to be clever or show off or beat around the bush or kind of, dance around the idea of what I'm talking about. I'm kind of a straight shooter, right? I'm straight to the point. Matter of fact, here's what it is. I lay it right out, right? And I get to my things quickly. Meaning, if you're trying to sell to someone, get to the point. If you're trying to tell someone what you do, get to the point, right? Like people don't have a lot of time. And so for me, having that clear sign over the door, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's how I help you, done, done, and done. That's kind of what you want to be aiming for, right? I'm not trying to be some clever, amazing marketer. I'm just trying to get my message out there in a succinct, clear, and very short, cut, straight to the point way. Okay, so my job and your job is to share our message to the people that need to hear it, right? If people read your content and they cannot wrap their head around what the hell you're talking about or how it relates to them, you're not going to stop the scroll. They're going to keep scrolling right past your stuff because it's complicated. There's no clear sign over the door that within just a few seconds tells them, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's how I help you. Your messaging is kind of sporadic. It's a little bit all over the place, right? It makes it really hard for people to understand what you do. And because people are limited on time and we don't have all day and our brains can only take in so much before we start to get a little overwhelmed, you have to be straight to the point. You got to get quicker. You got to have that good, clear sign over the door that's going to tell them in just a few seconds who you are, what you do, and why they need to stop scrolling and pay attention, right? So we focus, again, on our methodologies. We focus on our core strategies, and we take a major conviction around this, right? We believe so deeply that the work we do is impactful and it's needed, right? And we know our strategies and our systems work, so our content demonstrates that in a very clear and specific way. If you're not really sure about your process, if you're not sure of your methodology, if you don't really know how to talk about the work that you do with your clients to get them to the result, your content's going to be sporadic, random, a little all over the place, kind of wishy-washy, in and out, up and down, in and out, like all the things. And your audience they don't have time to try to figure you out, right? You have seconds to get them to stop scrolling, pay attention, and clearly understand, oh, this is nice. This is what I'm kind of looking for. Let me dig a little deeper. I'm interested. You only have a few seconds or they're going to scroll right past your content and on to the next, right? So you need to have that clear sign over the door that's clear cut. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's how I help. Done. Right? And then every piece of content that you put out, clear cut, straight to the point. Here's what it is, matter of fact. And it needs to be focused on consistently your set of systems, whatever that looks like for you. If you don't know that, that is something you have to figure out, because your content should be building anticipation. It should be building brand awareness. It should be building an audience of buyers. It should be priming people to want to buy from you, to want to work with you, to get in your DMs and say, hey, tell me more about your program. Tell me more about what you do. This content you're putting out is fascinating. It's amazing. It's speaking to me. This is what I'm looking for. Hey, everything you're talking about is what I'm missing. Like, I'm getting it. Like, tell me more. Your content should be doing that. Otherwise, what are you putting out content for if it's not doing anything? Why create and put out and distribute content if nobody knows what the hell it means or what to do with it, right? No intention, no strategy, no brand awareness, no brand authority, no clear-cut sign over the door is not going to create an audience of buyers, okay? So, when we are talking about content, we focus on the things that we stand behind, that we are doing ourselves. You see us doing it, right? If you're here, if you've been here, and if you're new, you're going to see it. But everything that we teach you guys is what we're doing. Okay. We're literally demonstrating it. We're teaching it to you guys. Okay. But the things that we focus on in our content are the things that are going to attract the type of clients that we want to work with. So I talk about scaling, I talk about leveraged offers, I talk about one-to-many, I talk about brand awareness, I talk about getting out of that one-to-one model, I talk about multiple 5-figure launches in 10 days or less, I talk about eliminating that hustle and enjoying the hard work instead. These are just some of the things that we focus on because that is what we teach. That's what we do. That's what gets us and our clients results and helps them to create a profitable business, right? Those are in a very bullet format, our methodologies. Those are our strategies. Those are what we are teaching our clients that are helping them build a profitable online business. So all the content that we put out is focused on those things. I'm not going on and talking about teaching you Facebook ads and speaking from the stage and, MLMs and network marketing. And I'm not teaching those things. I'm teaching you guys scaling. I'm teaching you one-to-many. I'm teaching you launches. I'm teaching you, premium clients. I'm talking about getting rid of the one-to-one model. Those are the things. I talk about scaling and building a sustainable, scalable, profitable business. Typically, we talk organically. Okay, so I'm not about the Facebook ads and paid traffic, nothing wrong with it, but that's not what I teach. Okay, so in all of our content, we are letting people know, here's who we are, here's what we do, here's how we help you. People do not come to us for things outside of that circle because we don't talk about that. That's not what we teach. It's not what our content is. So people are not coming in confused. They're not coming in the space saying, wait a minute, do you do mindset? Are you doing ads? Like, what do you teach? I don't know what you do. Nobody's saying that. Everyone that's coming into our community is wanting to launch. They're wanting one-to-many offers. They're wanting a bigger income and impact. They want that one-to-many. They want to scale. They want a profitable, sustainable business. And that's what they come here for, because that's what we teach. That's what we talk about. That's what our freebies are. That's what our messaging is. That's our live weekly shows. That's our podcast. Everything is about that. Okay. That's what we teach about. We're not trying to do or be anybody else. We're really staying in our lane, and that's what we're teaching. And we're just mastering that process. Okay. So let's talk about putting this into a content creation. Let's talk about content creation and putting this into a schedule. So my motto is that if it's not scheduled, if it's not in your calendar, then it's just an idea. Until you put it in your calendar and you lock it in and you make a decision about it, it's just an idea. Okay, so success does not come from ideas alone. It comes from the consistent action of the idea. Okay, so implementation. So the three things I want you guys thinking about as you're creating your content creation schedule, I want you thinking, what is your hub? So for us, our hub is this Facebook group community. It is the absolute top priority for us. It is the place that we want all of our audience to come to. It is the place that we want our audience to be able to binge on our weekly lives, binge on our podcasts, come in and get support, ask questions, come get resources to help you scale your business, right? So our hub is where all of our content is delivered. If you guys look around, I'm not sharing this piece of content everywhere else. It's right here exclusive for you guys, right? This weekly live is for you guys. And if you look in here, I have several posts per day going out. I have team members in here supporting you and answering your questions. We are in the DMs with you guys having conversations. We are literally creating resources for you guys that you're asking for. This is our hub. It's like our home. It's our community. It's where 90% of everything that we do, teach, and create comes to, right here in this place, right? So when you have a nice, clear strategy like that, you know where you want people to go. You know what you want them to do next. When they read your content, what do you want them to do? If someone listens to my podcast, on every single podcast episode, 2 or 3 times we invite them to this group. If anyone opens our emails 2 or 3 times a week, we invite them to this Facebook group. If anyone is connected on my personal Facebook page, we invite them several times a week to this Facebook group. On our Instagram and in all of our stories, we're inviting everyone to this Facebook group. Okay, so we have a clear strategy and intention of every piece of content that goes out. What do we want them to do next? And for us, our goal is drive them to this hub, this one central location. Okay. So you guys want to be thinking about what is your hub? What is that intention, that strategy for every piece of content you put out? What do you want them to really be doing next? Right? Do you want leads scattered all over the place and you're trying to juggle 50 different places of conversation and communication? No way. Drive them to this central place. I think it's important to have a community. Okay. The second is, what is your core pieces of content that support your brand? Okay. I'm going to share my core pieces of content. I have 3 specific core pieces of content I'll share with you in just a second. But I want you guys kind of thinking about these 3 to 4 core pieces of content that get distributed every single week. Your audience can rely on this. They can depend on it. They trust you for this. They expect it, right? And then what do you want people doing next? When they read your post, what do you want them to do? When they listen to your podcast, what do you want them to do? When they open your email, what do you want them to do, right? When they're in having an engagement and conversation in the Facebook group, what do you want them to do? When they watch your Instagram story, what do you want them to do next? You've got to start to tell people what you want them to do, and you need to have a nice strategy and a consistent system behind it, okay? I know a lot of you guys are just creating so much content and it's unnecessary. I want you to actually focus on creating more specific, intentional content, less content that is redundant and consistent over and over and over versus a million random pieces that are not getting you guys anywhere, right? So here's our content creation schedule. This is what we do. Our hub, like I said, this Facebook group community right here, this is our location. This is where all of our leads come to, besides our email list. This is where all of our leads come to. Every piece of content we put out on social media leads everybody right back here, okay? So we have that intention. That's our strategy. Get everybody back to the Facebook group and get them in here. Once they're in here, we serve, we go live, we show up, we deliver, we poll you, we audio back and forth in the DMs with you, we chat with you, we ask you questions, we deliver content, we tag you and stuff. We are building a relationship and we are building two-way conversation inside of our community. So if this is where we are all day, every day, then we want everybody, every lead that we come in contact with through all of our content to hit this hub. Okay, so you're creating that hub, and this is it for us. This is our strategy. Okay. So our goal is drive everybody back here. And then what we do is we put every single lead, every member that comes into this hub, to this group here, we put you guys through a relationship process, right? We get to know you by your entry questions. We get to get in the DMs with you and have a good conversation, dig a little deeper with you on those entry questions. Share our resources with you, tag you in our live videos that we've done that will support you. Make sure that you don't miss a single podcast every week. Make sure that if you have a question or you need something that my team and I are here supporting you, answering your questions, redirecting you, tagging you in resources that are helpful, going live every week with content you need and are asking for. Okay? That's what we call our social selling system. It's the way that we build nice, long-term, authentic relationships with every member coming into this hub. Okay, so now you guys are starting to see why it's so important that we get everybody here, because we have a system for what happens once they're here. So no one is just coming in this group and sitting here. Nobody's just like doing nothing, right? There's nothing happening here. We are going live every week. We are releasing content every day, podcasts every week. My community managers in the DMs, chatting it up with you guys, building a relationship, tagging you in resources, helping you get what you need here, answering questions, asking you questions. All of that is happening in this community, okay? And it's hard to do this outside of a group. It's hard to do this on a news feed with a million different things going through the newsfeed. It's hard to do this via email. Nobody even likes email anymore, right? It's hard to do this in stories. It's hard to build that community anywhere else other than a Facebook group, okay? So that's a huge part of our strategy. Okay, so in terms of our content schedule, remember I said you should have core pieces of content that kind of lead everybody back to your hub or wherever you want them to go, whatever your intention is for the people that are looking at your content. Okay. For us, we release a podcast every Monday, and this is a core piece of content. It's something that goes out every single Monday. You guys expect it. You know it's coming. It's around content you asked for. You know it's going to be coming in the Facebook group. If you're on the email list, you know it's coming there. You know it's getting posted on social. You know every Monday you can expect a Profitable Entrepreneur podcast episode from me, right? You know that. And our podcast is a huge part of our brand because it leads everybody back to this hub right here, to this Facebook group where we can start the relationship process. Okay. We also have a live show. That's what we're doing right now. This is our weekly Wednesday live show. This is another core piece of content, and we only share it here in this community. We don't go live on the business page. We're not sharing this and live streaming it everywhere. We're going live right here with you guys. Okay, it's content that's exclusive for you guys here in this community that have raised your hand and said, I want to be in your group, and you've come into this community. Okay, if anybody else wants this, they've got to join the community. We're not giving it everywhere because then nobody has a reason to come here. We have exclusive content and things that are happening only inside of this Facebook group, right? So it's our way of giving you guys the best sales and marketing tips and strategies that we've got. And it's content that you guys voted on, or you said that in your entry questions that you needed or wanted, right? So we're delivering to you what you asked for. And then every couple of months, we host our most popular on-demand live 5-day profit launch workshop. So some of you guys have, you know this, you've been here for a little bit, you've been through the workshop. Some of you have been through it 4 or 5 times. Some of you are really brand new, and that's great. We have one coming up. You'll be excited soon when we announce it. But we are always doing our profit launch workshop. We're always improving it, tweaking it, making it better, making it easier for you guys to go off and have your own 10-day or less multiple 5-figure launch and learn some of our system and strategy, okay? This is another core piece of our content. It is the same workshop every single time. We do it either once a month or every quarter, nonstop, no matter what, back to back. We are doing this for you guys, and we're always tweaking it, improving it, making it better, adding in new strategies or new trends. We're always making it better for you guys, right? And this workshop is also teaching one of our most profitable systems, which is our launch system. And so we literally use our own launch system to launch the workshop, and then we teach you the launch system. So we're demonstrating the systems that we're using and teaching you guys so that you can see how we do it and that it works, okay? This is a brand piece of content. So everybody knows us for this, right? We have people that will enter this group and they'll be DMing and posting and asking, when is the next profit launch workshop? When are you doing your launch workshop again? How can I get access to it? Like, people are always asking, or they're joining the group for that. So it's a system that myself and my clients are making a lot of money and impact from using and implementing, that I come in here and I teach to you guys over 5-day lives, okay? So we have our 3 core pieces of content that directly relate back to our brand and our methodology that back up our brand theme, which is the profitable entrepreneur. Okay, so what do we focus on? We focus on putting out 3 posts a day that are our brand topics. So what I do is we choose 1 theme a week and then 5 topics for each day of that week. So if week 1 we're talking about content, then that entire week, every day, every piece of content we put out will be about content creation or content strategy, right? It'll fall under the umbrella of content. And then maybe week 2, maybe our theme for week 2 is launching. Well, then we'll take 5 pieces of content, 1 for each day, and that will fall underneath launching, and that's what we'll talk about. So you have a theme and you have your topics, okay? You have your weekly theme and you have your daily topics. And this all should fall under your brand theme, okay? So remember, you guys can repurpose your content, right? You don't need to be creating a million pieces of content a day. You don't need to be coming up with something new. You should be relatively saying the same things all the time. You should be talking about the same thing all the time, because you should have a system, and that system goes full circle. You just keep talking about it, teaching about it, talking about it, teaching about it. If you're veering off over here, you're breaking the circle, right? You're not having a circle. You're kind of veering here and here and here and here, and everyone's like, I don't get what you do, right? Now you've created confusion. We don't want to do that. Okay, so we also incorporate a lot of video, right? So we go live here. This is video. Podcast is audio. We do videos in live streams. We make sure that, you know, when we're working with our clients in my program, all of that is done through video on Zoom. We make sure that our 5-day workshop is all video. So it's a live video every single day. You want to be incorporating more video. So 90% of your content strategy should incorporate some video, okay? And then the rest can be just basic text, right? You want your big core pieces of content to include video, right? Video or audio if it's a podcast, but you definitely want to be looking at doing that. Just busting out a bunch of written posts all day long across all the platforms, that's just not enough. It's not really, it's kind of a washed up strategy, okay? So we essentially have 3 types of content, and then I want to share this with you guys, and then I'm going to wrap up a little bit with you, and I want to answer any content questions that you have, so start dropping those below if you have any. So we essentially have 3 types of content. We have community content, which is the free front end content that you guys see, right? You guys see us go live. You guys see us put out posts. You guys see us share freebies with you guys. You see us put out a podcast. That's just our connection content, right? It's getting, you know, you guys engaged with us. We're asking questions. We're doing polls. You guys are kind of telling us what you want. Then we have our community content. This is that exclusive stuff we share only here in this community, right? This is where we're talking about exclusive content that you're going to share in your group or your hub that creates that co-creation, collaboration, friendship, that two-way conversation amongst you guys, right? So in the community, you guys will see that we put posts out sometimes that say, hey, what is your Facebook page? Let's all follow each other. Let's start a Facebook follow thread. Or what is your Instagram handle? Let's all connect on Instagram. Or, hey, what's your favorite podcast that you're listening to or binging on right now? Drop it below. Like literally, it's creating collaboration, co-creation, and two-way conversation again amongst you guys here in the community. Having a community is one thing, but getting the community to engage with one another is going to be really important for the success of your hub. Okay. And then our third piece is the conversion content. So this is where we are hosting conversion events where you are selling, you're extending invitations for people to come work with you, take the next step, right? So typically for us, sometimes we'll do a live like this and we might have an offer at the end, but usually it's with our 5-day workshop. We'll do the workshop and then we invite those who want help implementing what we taught to come into our program and work with us, with me and my team, right? So if you're not doing conversion events and you're just putting out posts that are like maybe randomly selling, it's kind of confusing. People aren't really warmed up to it. There hasn't been any two-way conversation. You're not building a relationship with your community and amongst your community, and people aren't going to buy from you if you're not doing that. So you have to be doing regular, the regular content that's building that co-creation, building that relationship. You need to be consistent. You need to build brand awareness and authority. But then you also need to be hosting conversion events. You need to actually be selling, right? And you need to do it in a way that's given a lot of great value. You're live, there's two-way conversation. You're really giving helpful tips and strategies. You're really supporting your community and helping them to see why the next step working with you is something that they should do. Okay, so you want all of your content, guys, to build anticipation, to build two-way conversation, and prime your audience to want to buy from you. Every piece of content I put out is literally, every single piece is in line, guys, with my intention of building authority, brand awareness, and it's that clear sign over the door. And I know exactly what I want people to do with the piece of content that I put out, right? I know what I want them to do next. So it's strategic, it's intentional. I don't do anything just for the sake of doing it, okay? Okay, so all the free content I put out eventually leads to the workshop, which eventually leads to my paid program. So there's a funnel, there's a strategy behind it, there's a clear intention. We know exactly what that looks like, okay? And I teach the same things over and over. Very rarely am I talking about something new or different. I'm teaching the same things over and over, and no, your audience does not get sick of hearing it, okay? I say the same things all the time. I teach the same thing, and you guys still need to hear it. Okay, so nobody's going to get sick of it if you're talking about the same thing. That's what you need to be doing. That's how you build a brand, right? If Nike had a different logo every other week, or they had a different message every other week, we would be confused, right? You're saying the same thing, you're doing the same thing, you have that consistency across the board all the time. That's how you build brand awareness, okay? So a couple of captivating copy elements that I want you guys to be putting in your content. You just mix it up a little bit in each of your pieces of content, and then I'll take your questions. Number one, you want to share stats and proof. So it's one thing for you to talk about something. It's one thing for you to say something, but it's a whole nother thing for you to back it up and prove it. Okay. So the way that you prove it is you can show an industry stat. You can show proof with either a client or some case study, or show your own proof. But just talking at people, guys, they don't care. You need to be able to show some sort of proof that backs up what you're saying, okay? The second thing is expertness. Why would people buy from you? You need to be an expert, a leader, an influencer. You need to be confident, consistent. You need to share your strategy, your methodology, the thing that you believe in, the system that you use to get people where you are. You need to show people in your audience, you have the solution to the problem that they're telling you they want solved. If you don't know how to talk about that, if you don't know how to do that, that's a major sales gap, okay? People need to know, why should I buy from you? Why should I buy from you right now? And why not somebody else? Or why not wait? They need to know that. And you're going to be able to help them identify that by being the expert in what you do, not being all wishy-washy and inconsistent all over the place, right? Be relatable and be vulnerable. It's not easy, but you got to share your story. You got to share your experiences. You have to show people that you relate to them. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're going to go down the rabbit hole with them, or you're going to fall into their stories, or we're not talking about being on the same wavelength. We're talking about, oh, I was there once. I can relate. I get you. I understand you. I see you because been there, done that, right? You're showing people you're relatable. You're not trying to be anyone you're not. You're not trying to, be on Paris, Eiffel Tower somewhere, whatever. You're literally in your home. You're just being who you are. Okay. You're showing vulnerability. You're sharing your story. You're peeling back the layers, giving them a little inside peek, right? I'm not, on an Eiffel Tower doing this video. I'm here in my office, right inside my home. Very natural, very, very relatable, right? You want to be creating that and bringing that in. Don't try to be someone you're not and think you need to have all this professional stuff and you need to pretend and, be perfect and have everything just so, okay? Nobody relates to that, okay? Also, you want to be always painting the picture of possibility. You always want to show people what is possible for them by sharing your story, telling them, hey, I was there once too, right? And now look where I am. So if I could do it, you could totally do it. Not cliche, but totally you can. Sharing case studies of your clients, or maybe you were in a previous business or corporate career where you helped them do something and it was a big accomplishment. Share that. Just show people this stuff is possible for you, because 9 out of 10 of your ideal clients, 9 out of 10 of them are going to think that what you're telling them they can do or you can help them with is not going to work for them. 9 out of 10 of your clients are going to say, but I'm unique, I'm different, I'm special, I'm not like your other clients, I'm not like you. That's actually not true. They're not unique, they're not different, they're not whatever. The strategy you're teaching will work for them, but you need to show them that's possible. Okay, because 9 out of 10 of them are not going to think that's possible for them for whatever reason. You have to show up consistently, okay, and with a great deal of confidence. And something I always tell my profitable entrepreneur clients, clarity will equal confidence and confidence will equal consistency. If you're not consistent, you're lacking clarity and confidence. Okay. You are not going to feel confident showing up and talking and teaching and selling if you don't have clarity, right? And if you don't have the clarity and the confidence, you will not be consistent in your business. You will be in and out, wishy-washy, and all over the place. Clarity equals confidence, which will equal consistency. You need all three of those things. That's the only thing that's going to make money. Okay. You got to be likable and you got to inspire people. So I want you guys to kind of take the negative out of your content, and I want you to solve problems. I want you to focus on the accomplishments your people have made already. I want you to talk about what they're doing right now in their life that's good and positive, but bridge the gap. Show them they still need this. They're still missing. They're ready for this next step. Solve those problems. If your posts are saying, oh, are you struggling with this? Are you so sick of this? Are you tired of this every single time? Are you so confused? Are you so overwhelmed? If you're saying things like that, those are the types of people you will attract into your programs. You'll have an entire Facebook group of negative, lack, broke people. Okay. So unless that's who you want to work with, you're going to have to shift your messaging to speak and pivot to attract premium clients. Okay. It's not good or bad. Just one's going to make you money and one's not. Okay. Also, you got to be real and just be you. Okay. Don't try to be anyone else, and be unique and fun. If you have a boring party, nobody's going to stick around. So if you're not doing things, if you're not going live, you're not showing up, you don't have like engagement, two-way conversation happening with your community, they're just going to sit in that Facebook group and do nothing. And then every time you show up, you're going to get crickets. You have to like liven it up a little bit, switch it up, create a little bit of fun in there. Do some fun things, get creative. Because if you're not unique and fun, you're just another Facebook group, right? You're just another Facebook group. And there's so many of them. You've got to find a way to stand out and make the space fun and build those relationships, build two-way conversation, build actual relationships with people so that they actually want to spend time in your group. They want to be on your lives. They want to listen to your podcast. They want to read your posts and your content. They want to participate in your workshops, your challenges, your webinars, whatever you're doing. They want to participate and engage with you. They want to answer you in the DMs. They want to join your program. You have to create the space for that. So if the energy and the lack of consistency in your group is happening, you're just not going to see the results. So I want you guys to focus on really honing your skills, you guys, so you can tap into the things we're teaching you here and show up from this type of space. And these are the things, guys, that are going to do the selling for you. I always tell everybody, my content does the selling for me. My content educates you guys. My content builds awareness, brand awareness. It builds authority. It shows I know my shit. I know what I'm talking about. I show proof. I show story. I show vulnerability. I am relatable. I am likable. I show you what's possible. I know exactly my intention with every one of you. I know exactly what I want to see happen. We are DMing you, having conversations with you. We're building relationships with you. We're funneling content to you that you're asking for. We are doing everything we're telling you guys to do. We're doing it right here, right now. Okay? These are the things that will do the selling for you so that you don't need to chase clients down. You don't need to be working so hard to try to sell. You don't need to create 1 million pieces of content a week and get maybe one response, right? Okay, do we have any questions? Hopefully this was helpful. Just going to pop in. Okay, Danielle said the PE program is amazing. Anyone interested in having a fail-proof system to launch and scale and a high-touch support system needs to get on the bus. Danielle, I so agree. Hi, Michaela. Good to have you here live. My amazing community manager, Lauren, is in the comments too. She said, this is our hub, here to support anyone who needs a little extra help, resources, or guidance. Just shoot me a DM after this live. You guys, like, my team is here for you. Just like, let us know what you need. We are like on standby for you guys. Terry said, Danielle, I love how Anne's free trainings are so good here in this group that all of us profitable show up to it every week. Yeah, guys, when you create content like this, you have your own paying clients who have already bought from you. They're already working with you, coming in and binging on your free stuff because it's that good, right? They don't need to be here right now because they're in my paid program, but they're here because they don't want to miss it. It's so good, right? Let me just see if there's any other questions real quick. Yes, Lauren said the podcast is gold. The podcast, guys, is so good. If you are not subscribed and listening, you're missing the good stuff. Okay, let's see. I don't think I see any other questions. Yes, Lauren, positivity and key and consistency, confidence, clarity. It's so critical, guys. Laura said, I've gotten feedback that the name of my signature program doesn't describe what the experience is. However, I already have a tribe of people. When you already have a tribe of people and you're going to kind of shift gears a little bit, just shift gears. I've done it in my business. There's no need to delay. You can totally just tell people, guys, I'm so excited about this new direction or this thing. And I want to kind of shift gears a little bit with you guys and just kind of tell them what it's about. We've all done it. I've done it so many times through just kind of growing and evolving in my own business. Don't get so wrapped up that everyone's going to notice because they probably don't. Most of the people that have been in my community when I made a pivot or a change or a shift, they don't even notice. The only reason they notice is because I said something, right? Half the time they don't even pick up on that stuff. Laura says, considering changing my group name, but I wonder about doing it at this time. I've spent so much on branding and I love the name. Yeah, I mean, why change the name, Laura, if you love it? What you can do is just add content around it that really helps describe the experience of working with you, right? So you have your name, add a little top subtitle or something like that. In your description, let people know this is what this experience is. Here's what you're going to get here. Here's what you can expect in this space. And then all your content represents that. So guys, if you look at the profitable entrepreneur community, the only thing it tells you is that we're talking about profitable entrepreneurs. It does not tell you that I focus on scaling. I focus on leveraging. I focus on one-to-many. I focus on organic launching. It actually doesn't tell you that. But they want to be profitable entrepreneurs, so that gets their attention. It stops the scroll. They join the community, right? And when they get in, they are hit with the scale, the leverage, the one-to-many, organic launching. They understand within minutes of joining my community what we do here. Okay, so your content will let people know about your brand. It's not just the titles and topics that are the most important thing. That gets their attention. It stops the scroll. But if you want to keep them reading, you want to keep them engaging, your content is king. Okay, so, you know, again, guys, you have your descriptions and all the content that you put out on all your other social platforms that you're spending time on should be letting people know, again, brand awareness, authority, sign over the door, and then coming into your group, right? Does that make sense, Laura? Hi, Christy. Good to see you live. Let me know if that was helpful. Hi, Rita. Good to have you here. Okay. Perfect. Good. If you guys have additional questions, if you're catching the replay, guys, just pop your stuff below. We'll come back in and support you. If you guys have any questions, if you need any resources, if there's something you need, if you have a question about something, definitely get in your DMs. My community manager, Lauren, is trying to connect with you. We are here to help you guys, okay? So this is not just a group to sit here and be bored and stale. We're definitely here to support you. Okay, Laura, good. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to change your name, guys, as long as everything you put out there is letting them know the things we just taught you here today, okay? All right. So just do a good job, guys. Do a good job with your content on building that brand awareness, on building authority, letting people know your methodology, what you do, why they need this, right? Just focus on that. Yeah, Lauren, it's so great to utilize all the social media channels and avenues of promoting your brand and content, and then lead that call to action to join your Facebook group. Yep, from these, oh, hold on a sec. From there, provide awesome resources, lives, and one-on-one conversations. Guys, so important. Take it from my community manager. She just said it, but that is a key critical part of our strategy, right? It's not just get people in this hub. It's get you guys here and then connect with you, build relationship with you, share our content with you, share our resources with you, answer your questions, like show up live for you guys, like have these two-way conversations. We are building a community. We want you guys to connect with each other. We want you to like binge on all the amazing resources. Tell us what else you need. We'll create it, right? We're building a community here, and we want it to be a space that people want to be part of. And that's going to be really important for you guys, right? As you're putting out content to create a space like that. All right, guys, I think that was all the questions. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget, we go live like this every Wednesday. We ask you guys in the group every week, what do you want us to teach next week? So if you guys are having any specific topics or things that you want us to teach on, if there's anything that you want us to talk about or share with you, any questions you have, anything you need, post in the group, get in the DMs with my community manager, Lauren. She's DMing you guys. Like, get in there and let us know, because that's where all of our content comes from. Our podcasts, weekly shows, is what you guys vote on and ask for. So definitely do that. Go and check the unit section out, guys. Binge in that section. We have all our replays from every weekly live show that are living in the unit section. They're all broken into categories for you guys and different topics. So go over there, start binging on them. If you need to get onto the podcast and you want to check it out, you want to tune in and subscribe, just tag us in the group or get in the DM with my community manager. We'll show you right where to go. We've got over 40 podcast episodes over there. Amazing stuff, good stuff. And again, if you have questions or you need anything, let us know. We do have a workshop coming up, the Profit Launch Workshop. It's actually a little special encore. We're doing it a little bit different in a pop-up group. That's going to be happening soon, and you'll start next week hearing all about it. So if that is something you want to be part of and you don't want to miss, let myself or Lauren, my community manager, know. Let us know. We'll make sure we get you on the list. You'll get in. It is an invite only, so you got to have to connect with us to get into it. But we will be doing that. So we have a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys. Let us know if you need anything else. If you're hitting up this replay, guys, say hashtag replay, drop it below. Say any question, ask any question, whatever you got for us, let us know. We're here to support you. We'll see you again, of course, next Wednesday right here live in the group, 11 a.m. Eastern. And we'll see you in the DMs as well, guys. All right, have a good Wednesday. Bye.